When God is about to bless you, something begins to stir in the unseen world long before your eyes can detect it. And if you are truly paying attention, if your spirit is awake, if your heart is alert, you will feel it before you see it. My friend, listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you can shift the entire direction of your destiny. There comes a moment in every life when God prepares to release a blessing so significant, so life-altering, so deeply transforming, that the atmosphere around you begins to change. And the tragedy is that most people miss it because they are distracted by noise, consumed by doubts, buried in self-pity, or blinded by fear. But you, if you are hearing these words, are being pulled into a moment of awakening, because when God is about to bless you, He will not allow your life to remain the same. He will show you signs, strong, undeniable signs that something divine is moving towards you. And once you understand these signs, nothing will ever look ordinary again. I want you to listen with the deepest seriousness of your soul. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are not too late. You are standing in the threshold of a divine shift. God does not prepare a blessing in silence. He sends signals into the life of the person He is raising. He begins transforming the environment, shaking foundations, stirring old things, removing what cannot stay, and strengthening what is meant to last. When God is about to bless you, He begins to press on your spirit with an urgency you cannot explain. You start feeling disconnected from the places where you once felt comfortable. You begin sensing that the life you have been living is too small for the life God wants to give you. You start noticing that certain habits no longer fit your future, certain relationships no longer match your destiny, and certain environments no longer support your spiritual growth. This is not confusion, this is preparation, this is not loss, this is positioning, this is not instability, this is the shaking that happens before God builds something greater. And the first sign God shows you is the stirring of holy discomfort. You may not like it, but discomfort is one of God's greatest tools. When God is ready to elevate you, He will not allow you to feel at peace in places that limit you. He will not let you stay content in situations that shrink your spirit. You will feel restless, not because something is wrong, but because something bigger is coming. You will feel a gentle but persistent inner pull urging you to rise, to change, to grow, to move. You may wake up at night with a feeling that something is shifting. You may find yourself unable to tolerate the same negativity you once ignored. You may feel your appetite changing, not physical appetite, but spiritual appetite. You will crave clarity, direction, strength, and purpose. You will crave the presence of God more than the approval of people. This discomfort is not an attack, it is a divine announcement. God is saying, I am about to expand you. I am about to lift you. I am about to take you where you cannot remain unchanged. The second sign appears when God begins removing certain people from your life. And let me make this very clear. Not everyone who started with you will continue with you. When God is about to bless you, He will cut off relationships that drain you, distract you, or delay you. You may not understand it at first. You may wonder why certain people suddenly grow distant, why conversations with them no longer connect, why their presence feels heavy instead of supportive. But God sees what you cannot see. God hears conversations you never heard. God observes intentions you never detected. And when a blessing is coming, God will not allow anyone to sabotage it. So if someone leaves, do not fight it. If someone stops calling, do not chase them. If someone withdraws, do not collapse. God is not subtracting from you. God is protecting you. God is saying, these people cannot go where I am taking you. They will suffocate what I am about to release. Let them go. And if you are spiritually awake, you will begin recognizing that rejection is not always an injury. Sometimes it is a rescue. Sometimes God closes a door because the room behind it is no longer safe. Sometimes God ends a friendship because the person behind the smile carries envy in their heart. Sometimes God separates you from people because He's preparing to surround you with better ones. The moment God decides to bless you, He places divine security around your destiny. And that security often comes in the form of separation. Let the separation happen. Let God remove who He must remove, because every divine blessing requires divine alignment. The third sign emerges when you begin seeing unusual spiritual battles. Some of you have noticed this already. When God is preparing to bless you, darkness tries to stop you. Not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous. Not because you are failing, but because you are about to rise. When your blessing is near, the enemy senses it. Your growth becomes obvious in the spiritual realm long before it becomes obvious in the physical realm. And suddenly, battles intensify. You feel tired for no reason. People misinterpret your intentions. Opportunities slip through your hands. Unexpected problems arise. You feel attacked in areas where you were once strong. Do not misread these battles. They are not signs that God is punishing you. They are signs that God is preparing you. The pressure increases because your breakthrough is close. The storm intensifies because the blessing is near. The opposition rises because the miracle is already on its way. God allows these battles because they strengthen what He is about to elevate. A person who will carry a big blessing must have a strong spirit. A person who will influence others must know how to stand firm. A person who is called to rise must know how to withstand pressure. So instead of fearing the battle, see it as confirmation. You are not under attack, you are under preparation. God is shaping you. God is stretching you. God is fortifying you. And in the moment you feel like giving up, remember, blessings always attract battles, but they also guarantee victory to those who stay faithful. The fourth sign appears when old doors start closing unexpectedly. This is one of the most misunderstood signs because humans fear closed doors. But God uses closed doors as divine redirection. When God is about to bless you, He will allow certain opportunities to end because they will interfere with your next season. You may not understand why something that seemed promising suddenly falls apart. You may feel confused when a job, relationship, plan, or project collapses without warning. But I want you to understand this with absolute clarity. God never closes a door unless a greater one is opening. God never removes something unless something better is meant to replace it. When a door shuts, do not panic. Pause and ask yourself, what is God preparing me for? Because a closed door is not the end. It is a pivot. It is God saying, you have gone far enough in that direction. Now turn toward the blessing I have prepared. And the most powerful part of this sign is that the door God closes, no force on earth can open. And the door God is preparing to open for you, no force on earth can shut. If something ended, it ended because it was too small for the blessing God is sending. If someone walked away, they walked because they could not handle the version of you that God is forming. If a plan collapsed, it collapsed because it would have blocked your destiny. Thank God for closed doors. Thank God for interruptions. Thank God for endings. They are part of your alignment for the blessing ahead. The fifth sign arises when God begins increasing your spiritual sensitivity. You will notice your intuition sharpening. You will feel truth more strongly. You will sense danger before it arrives. You will feel guided in decisions that once confused you. You will experience a deep inner knowing that God is leading you. You will hear a whisper in your spirit, urging you towards certain actions and away from others. Your heart will feel a magnetic pull toward purpose. Your mind will begin clearing. Your inner clarity will increase. This is because blessings require discernment, and God will not give a blessing to some. One who cannot recognize it. So He prepares your spirit. He heightens your awareness. He sharpens your mind. He strengthens your inner voice. This sensitivity is not an accident. It is a divine upgrade. You will feel more drawn to prayer, more drawn to quiet moments, more drawn to reflection. You may cry without knowing why. You may feel overwhelmed by peace, even in confusing moments. You may find yourself longing for closeness with God more than at any other time in your life. This is because God is preparing to trust you with something, and He needs your spirit awake to receive it. Pay attention to this sign. When your spiritual senses awaken, your blessing is near. The sixth sign manifests when God increases your inner strength. Not physical strength, spiritual strength. You will feel yourself becoming more resilient. You will handle things that would have crushed you in the past. You will endure storms that once overwhelmed you. You will rise from disappointments faster than before. You will calm yourself in situations that once triggered you. You will speak with clarity, stand with confidence, and move with purpose. And this strength will not come from you. It will come from God. Many people misunderstand their own growth. They think they are becoming tougher through life. But true strength comes only when God strengthens the spirit from the inside. When God blesses someone, He prepares their character. You cannot carry a blessing with a weak spirit. You cannot handle elevation with a fragile heart. So God fortifies you. God matures you. God deepens you. God strengthens you in silence, so He can elevate you in public. And when you start noticing that your reactions are changing, your patience is increasing, your courage is growing, and your endurance is expanding, recognize this for what it is. God is preparing you to carry something greater than anything you have carried before. The seventh sign appears when God begins surrounding you with new opportunities, new people, new ideas, and new perspectives. Suddenly, you begin noticing doors you never saw before. You meet people who speak life into your purpose. You receive ideas that energize your soul. You feel inspired in ways you haven't felt in years. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. When God prepares a blessing, He also prepares the environment that blessing needs to grow. He places you in the right rooms. He introduces you to the right people. He aligns you with the right opportunities. He puts ideas in your mind that match the future He is building. And this alignment is one of the clearest signs that your blessing is near. But let me tell you something even deeper. When God is about to bless you, He will not only open new doors, He will prepare you to walk through them. You will no longer feel intimidated by opportunities. You will no longer feel unworthy of elevation. You will no longer shrink yourself to fit into small spaces. You will rise into the person God has been forming through every battle, every loss, every delay, every prayer, and every wilderness season you survive. You will feel a new boldness in your spirit. You will feel a strong conviction that you were created for more. You will feel a divinely ignited confidence that this is your season to rise. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all these signs is this: they never come alone. When God prepares to bless you, all seven begin appearing at once. The discomfort, the separation, the battles, the closed doors, the spiritual sensitivity, the inner strength, the new opportunities, they be gene moving together like pieces of a divine puzzle coming into alignment. And once they align, nothing can stop the blessing God has already ordained for your life. When God draws you into the realm of blessing, He begins to reshape not only your circumstances, but the deepest layers of your identity. Many people expect God to change their situation while they remain the same, but that is not how divine elevation works. God does not place new blessings into old versions of you. He first transforms a vessel before He pours out the increase. And as this transformation unfolds, you begin to feel the weight of purpose in a way you have never felt before. You sense that your life is no longer random, no longer drifting, no longer repeating old cycles. You begin to recognize that every season, every delay, every tear, every disappointment, every moment of silence, every night of prayer, every day of waiting has been shaping a version of you capable of carrying something far bigger than anything you once imagined. There comes a moment when the spirit within you rises with a force that surprises even you. You may look at your life and see no physical change yet, but inside you something. Key powerful is awakening. You begin to think differently. You start evaluating things with deeper clarity. You feel your spirit rejecting mediocrity, rejecting excuses, rejecting anything that weakens your connection with God. You begin to see through things that once blinded you. Your discernment sharpens, your focus tightens, and your priorities shift into alignment with divine purpose. This inner shift is not a small thing. This is God preparing you to handle the magnitude of what is coming. Because God never blesses small. God never elevates halfway. When God decides to lift a person, He lifts them in a way that generations will be affected. And this is why the process feels intense. Blessings from God are not ordinary events. They are destiny-altering turning points. They are moments when the trajectory of your entire life changes direction. And God must make sure you are ready. He must ensure that your character can support your calling. He must ensure that your spirit can withstand the weight of influence, abundance, and responsibility. He must ensure that your strength is not temporary, but rooted deeply enough to carry you through every challenge that elevation brings. And as God works on you internally, He also begins rearranging your external world in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. You will see people being positioned in your life for reasons you cannot understand at first. You will hear conversations that ignite something inside you. You will stumble into opportunities that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidence. You will feel drawn to environments that nurture your growth and pulled away from environments that stunt it. Every movement around you carries divine intention. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. God's hand becomes unmistakable once you learn how to recognize the patterns of His preparation. And one of the most powerful patterns is this: God will increase your hunger. You will feel an unexplainable desire to grow, to learn, to become more disciplined, to strengthen your mind, to sharpen your spirit. You will feel a pulling toward improvement that you can't ignore. You will want to rise, not for ego, not for validation, but because something within you knows you were created for more. This hunger is not human ambition, it is divine invitation. God is calling you higher. God is showing you that there is a version of your life you have yet to step into. God is reminding you that your potential is far greater than the limitations you once accepted. When this hunger awakens, the ordinary things that once entertained you begin to lose their power. The distractions that once consumed your time begin to feel empty. The habits that once comforted you begin to feel beneath your potential. You no longer crave the approval of people. You crave alignment with God. You no longer chase temporary pleasures. You chase lasting purpose. You no longer tolerate environments that diminish your strength. You seek those that elevate your spirit. This hunger is a sign that your future is too large for your old lifestyle. And during this spiritual intensification, something else happens. God begins revealing truths about yourself that you never acknowledged. Not your weaknesses, your strength, not your failures, your resilience, not your wounds, your ability to rise despite them. God begins to show you who you truly are, not who life tried to convince you to be. You begin remembering the dreams you buried. You begin recalling the visions you abandoned. You begin feeling again, believing again, expecting again. You beg in stepping out of the identity created by pain, and you step into the identity designed by God. This awakening is necessary because blessings are attracted to clarity. God does not elevate confusion. He elevates alignment. And once your spirit becomes clear, your entire life begins to shift. Your words carry more authority. Your decisions carry more wisdom. Your presence carries more strength. You begin speaking with conviction because you are no longer speaking from insecurity. You are speaking from alignment with God. And when a person aligns themselves with God, they become unstoppable. They become unshakable. They become a force the world cannot diminish and darkness cannot intimidate. You must also understand that when God prepares to bless you, He will test your loyalty to the journey, not because He doubts you, but because elevation requires commitment. Many people want blessings without transformation, increase without discipline, and favor without faithfulness. But God does not operate on shallow soil. He wants depth. He wants consistency. He wants a heart that remains steady even when the environment feels uncertain. And so He will test your endurance. He will test wet. You trust Him even when the path is unclear. He will test whether you move forward when it would be easier to retreat. These tests are never designed to break you. They are designed to verify you. They prove that you are ready to sustain the blessing He is sending. And while these tests unfold, you will notice something remarkable. God will start exposing hidden strengths in you. You will find yourself handling situations with wisdom you didn't know you had. You will discover courage that was buried beneath years of self-doubt. You will uncover a capacity for faith, patience, and perseverance that surprises even you. God does not give you strength when the blessing arrives. He gives you strength before it arrives. He allows situations that reveal the depths of your capability so that when the blessing comes, you can carry it with confidence. This is also the season where God begins refining your voice. Not your physical voice, your spiritual voice. The voice inside you that speaks truth when fear tries to silence you. The voice that declares possibility even when circumstances look impossible. The voice that refuses to bow to doubt, insecurity, or discouragement. God strengthens this voice because it will guide your steps in the place He is taking you. A person who is blessed must know how to silence negativity, speak faith into storms, declare victory into uncertainty, and affirm purpose even when the world rejects them. God builds this voice through experience, through battles you survive, through disappointments you overcome, through valleys where you learn to walk by faith and not by sight. And as your voice grows stronger, your vision becomes sharper. You begin seeing beyond obstacles. You begin perceiving blessings before they manifest. You begin identifying opportunities that others overlook. You begin interpreting setbacks as redirection rather than failure. This vision is essential because blessings always require insight. A person without vision can walk right past their blessing without recognizing it. A person with vision can see God's hand even in chaos. But perhaps one of the most powerful signs that God is positioning you for blessing is the shift in how you handle solitude. You no longer fear being alone. You no longer cling to people who drain you. You no longer panic when God isolates you. You begin cherishing the quiet because in the silence, you feel God the most. You receive ideas, instructions, clarity, and strength that cannot be given in noisy environments. Solitude becomes your sanctuary, not your suffering, because isolation is not a punishment, it is preparation. God isolates those He intends to elevate. And in that sacred solitude, God plants visions that do not match your current reality. Your life may look small, but the vision in your spirit feels massive. Your resources may be limited, but your faith feels limitless. Your environment may be simple, but the calling inside you feels extraordinary. This mismatch is not a mistake. It is evidence that God is about to change your level. God places a vision in your spirit that is bigger than your environment so that you will know the blessing comes from Him, not from your circumstances. As these inner and outer changes intensify, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your relationship with God reaches a level of depth it has never touched before. You no longer speak to God from desperation. You speak from connection. You no longer seek God only in crisis. You seek Him in purpose. You no longer approach God with fear. You approach with trust. You begin, say, sensing His nearness in ways that strengthen you, guide you, uplift you, and anchor you. The blessing becomes secondary. The closeness becomes primary. Because once you feel the security of God's presence, you realize that the blessing is simply an outcome of alignment. And this is where the greatest transformation occurs. You start expecting good things. Not because life has been easy, but because God has been faithful. You start believing that your best days are still ahead. You begin speaking with authority because you know your words are shaped by faith, not fear. You begin walking with confidence because you know God is guiding every step. You begin releasing old burdens because you trust that God has already prepared solutions. You begin seeing yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as a carrier of destiny. This is the posture of someone who is ready for the blessing. This is the mindset of someone God can elevate, because God does not bless a person who doubts their own worth. God blesses the person who recognizes that every gift, every opportunity, every increase flows from His power alone. And once you adopt this posture, once you live with expectation instead of fear, faith instead of anxiety, alignment instead of confusion, you become a magnet for the blessings that have been waiting for you all along. And now, as you stand in this moment between who you have been and who you are becoming, let your heart awaken to the truth that God has been preparing you for far more than survival. God has been shaping you for victory, for growth, for elevation, for influence, and for a purpose that reaches beyond anything your past has ever suggested. This is your time to rise with a renewed spirit, to separate yourself from the weight that has been pulling you down, and to step into the kind of faith that refuses to bow to fear, confusion, or hesitation. You must look at your life with absolute honesty and ask yourself whether you are living according to the greatness God placed within you, or shrinking back into the limits the world tried to place upon you. Because the blessing God is preparing is too powerful for a hesitant heart, too sacred for a distracted mind, and too valuable for someone who refuses to see their own worth. This is the moment where you choose alignment over excuses, discipline over distraction, clarity over confusion, and purpose over passivity. You do not need to wait for permission from anyone, because the only permission that truly matters comes from God. And God has already placed that permission inside your spirit. You feel it, you sense it, you know you are capable of more, deserving of more, created for more. But knowing it is not enough. You must act on it. You must rise to it. You must reorder your life so your thoughts, your choices, your habits, and your focus reflect the future God is calling you toward. Do not underestimate the power of a single decision made in alignment with God. It can redirect your entire destiny. Let this be the moment you release every doubt that has weakened your spirit. Let this be the moment you silence every voice that told you you couldn't make it. Let this be the moment you lay aside every fear that has blocked your progress. Stand firm and declare that you will no longer sabotage your own blessing by holding on to things God has already asked you to let go of. Walk away from the negativity that poisons your confidence. Break free from the patterns that limit your growth. Distance yourself from anything that makes you forget the strength God placed within you. You owe it to your future self, to your purpose, to the calling written over your life, to stand up and fight for the destiny God has prepared. And as you rise with humility, rise with faith, rise with gratitude. Let your heart open fully to God, not halfway, not partially, but completely. Speak to God with honesty, with sincerity, with the kind of vulnerability that invites divine transformation. Let your prayer be a reflection of your commitment. God, realign my steps, purify my intentions, strengthen my spirit, and guide me into the blessing you have prepared for me. When your heart speaks with this kind of sincerity, when your intentions match your desire, when your spirit stands in full submission to God's direction, the very atmosphere around you begins to shift. Doors open, strength rises, clarity comes, peace settles, and blessings flow in ways you could never force through your own effort. So walk forward now with courage, with honor, with conviction. Let your life become a testimony of what happens when a person chooses to trust God more than their fears, more than their past, more than their limitations. Let every step you take declare that you refuse to settle for anything less than the fullness of what God has promised. You are not here to live small, to live afraid, or to live hidden. You are here to reflect the power, the wisdom, and the greatness of the God who created you. And when you stand boldly in that truth, the blessing that has been waiting for you will find you without fail. May your heart stay open, your spirit stay strong, and your life stay anchored in the presence of God. May you rise into the destiny designed for you, unafraid, unashamed, and unwavering. And may the blessing God has prepared become a living reality in your life, not because of chance, not because of luck, but because you chose to align your steps with the one who guides all things with power, wisdom, and perfect purpose.